Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Standard here at GameSwap in tranquil Mason, Ohio.
Howdy,
I'm Jason Morgan, here with my good friend Kyle Kepi. We are going to watch some hot standard action tonight.
Some fresh standard action.
Yeah, that too. Hot and fresh.
Still fresh out of the oven.
Like a Little Caesars pizza, hot and fresh. Arguable. So anyway.
Yeah, that's a hard sell, just like this is like a pizza that's been sitting out for a few hours.
Yeah. No, it's hot and ready. And in fact, so are these standard games.
Oh, man.
Hot and ready. On the left, we have Bernie Wynn with Mardu Vehicles. And on the right, we have Jake Valentine playing Temur Control.
I don't know how controlling Jake's deck is. It might just simply be
Temur Energy.
Temur Energy, but yeah. Whatever you want to call it. He's got a Bristling Hydra. He's going to jam a 4/3 on 4, turn 4.
Yeah, and an Attune. Yeah, it's just Temur Energy.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
So what do you expect here? This is a kind of a matchup that's been kind of, how do I say, postponed insofar as we had to deal with Marvel in the format.
Sure, yeah. I think we should get used to seeing this one for a while until our Devastation becomes legal.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Of course, this weekend is the Star City Invitational, so that will help further define what some are calling a lame duck format. But I bet those guys playing for thousands upon thousands of dollars there in Roanoke, Virginia.
No.
Don't think it's going to be too much of a lame duck.
Yeah.
And neither do these guys, actually.
Yeah. I've played I used to live on the East Coast, so played in a lot of invitationals, and they sometimes end up in weird timing, kind of in between formats and stuff like that. And regardless, when you're going to that kind of tournament, you're always testing for everything.
Serious business.
Yeah.
So Jake's turn 2 Servant of the Conduit falls to a fatal push. Importantly, because he's got a Bristling Hydra in hand, and I tell you, the stage is ready for the 2-drop mana accelerator into the 4-drop here in Standard. I think that's a really good thing to be doing.
Yeah, it's kind of similar, the green-white deck from a while back that just put Gideon on the map. That green-white deck just did that so often, I felt like.
What was the mana accelerator in that deck? I don't recall.
Did it not have one? No.
I don't remember.
Maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while. But Bernie's got a veteran motorist over there, Scryed 2.
Yeah,
you
don't often see veteran motorists in these decks, but, it's still kind of up in the air.
Well, I mean, the format has shifted such that 2-drops... So all the action is happening at the 2 slot and the 5 slot, except for like Bristling Hydra. But those are the really important cards right now. You've got your Winding Constrictors, you've got your Servants of the Conduit, you got your Long Tusk Cubs, and it is certainly in Mardu Vehicle's best interest to have a 2-drop to match.
True, that's a good point.
Regardless of Walking Ballista's presence in the format.
Yeah, and it lines up really well against even like Cub and stuff like that. Cub's got to put some. You got to sink some energy into a Cub to get it to not trade with a motorist.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're just trading straight up, the motorist player has come out ahead in terms of value.
Yeah, definitely gotten the scry and not had to spend energy on it in a way that.
Bernie with the turn 4 Gideon ally of Standard format here.
Yeah. And
here it comes.
The Glory Bringer.
Bringing the glory. And we saw this last week. We're going to see it again.
God.
Kill a creature, kill Gideon.
Man.
Taste it. I love it. That's why Glory Bringer is one of, if not the most important cards in the format now.
Definitely. Even if it's not kind of the best card, it just plays such a role. It's a role player in terms of keeping Gideon in check.
I think there's a strong argument right now for it, in fact, being the best card.
That is
in this current iteration of Standard.
That is a commitment. And so I don't even see why we jam out the Gideon if... Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. I got my exert cycles mixed up.
Right.
So he's got a turn here to...
Indeed. And I'm pretty sure that Gideon's going to be plussing next turn.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he's got an unlicensed disintegration deal with the Glory.
Sure.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there's another one.
Well, you know, it's going to take a turn.
Sure.
And there's a cub with a lot of energy on the table.
Indeed.
So a little fun fact about our players. I don't know. Did you hear about Bernie's weekend?
I did not.
Didn't do well enough in the team GP, but played in the PTQ on Sunday.
Yeah.
Won his pod.
Okay.
And that put him in the top 8, and I think he lost in the top 4 with this Mardu Vehicles deck. So Bernie's on a tear.
So was that good enough for a qualification?
No, I think you have to. I think you have to win it.
So this is an old school PTQ.
This is an old school PTQ. Yeah.
One blue envelope.
One blue envelope
to the man or woman or child or both that stands atop.
Of course, he would have liked to do better, but I think it's just 7 rounds of just plowing people with Mardu vehicles.
Well, sure, and it's not like the quality of player at a Sunday at GP is going to be real low.
No. Like
those fields are going to be pretty stiff.
Yeah, I learned about it because a friend shared the pod standings and didn't realize how the pod system worked. But I just saw the pod, and it was pretty stacked. It was at a murderer's row of just legit, like
for sure,
murderer's row of like legit East Coast grinders. Maybe not like big names by any means, but dudes that play Magic a lot.
So Gideon getting in here, plussed by Bernie, just as I predicted.
Yeah.
Also the Knight getting frisky. Jake blocking, spending some energy to put it up to a 3/3.
Yeah.
Taking 5. So here's an interesting question: where are these Glory Bringers going? We're not getting that. Well, unless we swing with the team.
So we might just be swinging with the team and just eating. I don't know. I feel like these are all profitable trades, so there's a jam on him.
Yeah, but he's also got untapped mana and a couple cards in hand.
And a rebuy on a card with a clue in play.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're only sending one Glory Bringer and all the Ground Pounders at Gideon.
Oh, in what world does the Glory Bringer block?
In Jake Valentine's world. That looks like that's what's going to be happening. Here comes Avison to say, nah, baby, nah.
So something you can do with 5 mana open is jam an Avison on your 4/4.
Indeed, and
okay.
I would have to say that the advantage bar is firmly pointing toward Bernie winning this one now.
Yeah. So we were getting excited about Glory Bringer, and Bernie points out to us that White is still broken in this format and properly just devours a dragon.
Yeah. Well, you know, mythic rares are better than regular rares.
That's why they make them mythic.
Yeah. So Bernie has 2 mythic rares, and Jake has no mythic rares, so clearly Bernie's ahead. Makes an emblem, gets in for 5 in the air. Conservative play, I like it.
Well, you know, it's an interesting play because now the Avisons are just going to be the Avison is just going to brick wall the Glory Bringer.
For sure.
And
unless, of course, he chooses to deal the 4 to it.
Yeah, he could. But then Bernie just doesn't have to block.
Right.
And so Jake would tap down his flyer for a turn and then eat a Gideon, but Bernie will win on the swing back. Oh, and then we have another 4/4 flyer. That'll become a 5/5 if we crew it.
Yeah, importantly, another mythic rare.
Another mythic rare, and
God, this format's so pay to win.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Poking a little fun at that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, you know. Jake lamenting his decisions at this point.
You know,
probably all of them up to and including this game of Magic.
He's made a lot of poor life decisions in general, and so, you know, he's got time to. He's got 42 minutes to ponder on them. Okay, so we got a clue here. We'll draw a card maybe one day.
Tireless Tracker coming down there.
Jake does have a removal spell in hand with the Harness Lightning, so
I think I fire that off now.
On what?
Fair.
Yeah, so the problem becomes that Bernie has not only the 5/5 Angel, he has a 5/5 Heart that he can crew, and so the harness doesn't really break open the board in any way that the Glorybringer can get in and just...
It does not.
Wreck Bernie's board. Because if you could just get that Glorybringer in to eat a knight and then eat Gideon, it'd be fine. But 2 flyers is too much. And I
so that Bristling Hydra is still rotting in Jake's hand, despite it being in his opener.
Just a fatal push on the Servant early on just set Jake back so far because
indeed
a Bristling Hydra would have really put him on the front. Okay. Jake's gonna.
I think too that's kind of pointing out how important Fatal Push is going to be going forward, considering, you know, how much action is happening at the 2-drop slot.
Yeah.
How important it is to be able to kill your opponent's 2-drop.
Yeah.
Especially when you can, on your turn 3, play your own 2-drop and Fatal Push theirs.
Definitely.
Yeah, huge tempo swings there.
Yeah, so like Jake's gonna like try to play it out, but if he doesn't swing in here, and Bernie's properly, like, you're passing the turn, you don't have good attacks. So Jake is forced to...
Yeah, that Glorybringer is definitely going to be on chump duty here, if it's still alive come the attack.
Yeah, if it's not alive, then
it's just
we
game.
Just...
Yeah, Bernie looking for the removal spell here to try to seal the deal on this one.
Yeah. Bernie's just seeing how Jake would block.
Yeah, lining things up, visualizing it.
Well, okay. Oh, so he's... Yeah, well, no, he's still... So if Bernie wants to plus Gideon, then activate Gideon via... Oh, okay. That'll be our Heart of Kieran activation there. And then just jam on him. And if he wants to like actually block, just pick up your cards, Jake.
Yeah, so Bernie casting Wrath of God here on Jake.
In the know, we would call that a plague win, but yeah, Wrath of God target Jake. That's a good way of... if that's what we...
I mean, with the 1 card in hand, so...
That is a Bristling Hydra.
Jake would have to cast Ancestral Recall next turn to be able to draw enough cards to get back in this one. He has to draw an answer to that Heart. He's got to draw an answer to the Gideon. Going to be at 2. Yeah, I just don't know why we're still playing this one.
Yeah, you know.
Enjoys his camera time, I guess.
Giving us a show.
And yeah. Finally sees the writing on the wall, even though it's been there in large,
He saw
bold,
the line. He saw the line.
Yeah. Scoop him up.
Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't... That game was interesting. That game was really interesting, I feel like. Just kind of... Bernie didn't come out of the gates swinging.
No.
You know, he had no turn 1 or turn 2 plays outside of a fatal push. Jake's end step.
In my mind, is one of the determining plays of the outcome of that game.
Exactly, yeah. But just kind of...
Otherwise, Jake has a Bristling Hydra on 3 with a lot of energy to spend.
Yeah. Just kind of riding how good Gideon is.
Yeah, that second Gideon was a big deal for sure. So the question now, what's Bernie going to do with the sideboard, right? And that's one of the things I think that has been the keys, one of the keys to the success of Mardu vehicles is that it's very difficult to predict exactly how your opponent is going to sideboard if you're playing against Mardu vehicles. So it's difficult to predict what you need to do on your end to combat what they're going to be doing. Are they going to go the full Planeswalker, Fumigate package on you, take out their Toolcraft exemplars and veteran motorists and try to go big? Or are they going to stay low to the ground? Do you bring in artifact removal for their hearts? Are they taking their hearts out? Are they taking maybe just a couple of the hearts out? That's the thing, is the flexibility of the sideboard plan with vehicles contributes greatly to the difficulty to play against it.
Every single round in which you sit across a Mardu vehicles player, you have to not only imagine how they're going to sideboard against you, but you have to even just kind of, you're guessing what their sideboard is going to be, whether they have access to the planeswalkers, whether they have access to kind of just more removal and stuff like that. And so you could try to buckle down and mid-range with them, assuming that they're bringing in planeswalkers, and then they just bring in cheap removal and they just tempo you out of the game and just push on you.
Sure. I think trying to out mid-range them, considering they have access to some of, if not all of, the best mid-range cards in the format, except maybe Glorybringer, but we've seen those even in some Mardu's lists. I think that's just a bad idea. They've got Nahiri, they've got Chandra, they've got Gideon, they've got Fumigate, they're super friends. You know, I don't think that's where you want to be.
I don't know. I was a buddy. He's kind of a brewer, and he asked me for some sideboard plans. And I recently was like telling him, like, just kind of see if you can mid-range with Mardu vehicles. And I think it's like really predicated off having access to something like Kalitas, where Kalitas kind of turns off Fumigate in a way. If you have a Kalitas in play and they want to fumigate the board and they're going to lose some creatures presumably along the way, you're going to get some creatures too. And also I think just Kalitas sets up for 2-for-1s in a way that can actually keep up with them.
Yeah, but you know, on the flip side of that, man, if they're on the Fumigate plan, they're not running the low-end creatures. Chandra minuses, stays on the board against the Kalitas, you know, that sort of thing. I just don't. I think if they're on the Planeswalker and Fumigate plan, you just got to try to get under them before the more powerful Mythic Raiders come online.
Quite possibly.
And again, that's not an easy thing to do. And that's why I personally like black-green energy and Jund energy in this format, because it has the ability to do that.
Yeah, there was some confusion about deck list names. Jake is on to straight Temur energy. So he's going to curve out with the Rogue Refiners, the Whirling Virtuosos.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, right, is that in the grand scheme of things, Rogue Refiner is just not a great Magic card. I mean, it's a 3/2 body. It draws a card, 3 mana, but I mean, it's just not, in the context of the format, it's just not doing a lot.
No.
You know,
it is a body.
Yeah, and that's one of the, you know, that's one of the premier cards of the Temur version of this deck. You know, one of the reasons that you're going Temur is because you get access to Rogue Refiner, and I'm just not sold. Okay,
so last week you mentioned kind of Brad Nelson just saying that the deck is just a stepping stone in the format, just like we'll get past it. It's just the kind of deck that people are audibling to after Marvel gets banned. And now, are you less convinced that it's a real deck?
Temur Energy?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are better versions of this deck available. I think one of them is black-green. I think the other one is Jund, which we saw last week in the hands of Mike Bassard. I went home and got on one of the online Magic the Gathering programs that shall not be named, and put together my own little version of that. Went pretty deep on 4 drops to try to maximize the power of a Servant of the Conduit on turn 2. And I tell you what, I was just housing people.
Jund is just the black, red, green colors, where Temur's blue, red, green. That's all. Chad asked the question. And so just color names. Okay, so Jake is leaving off with a Wandering Funeral. Also not an exciting draw to playing blue-red. It's fine, I guess. It's one of the better man lands in the format, maybe.
I guess.
I guess.
I just don't know if you're not playing blue-red control that
you ever activate it.
Yeah, the games ever get to a point where that's what it's about.
Yeah, the format's just not that grindy at this point.
No. Mardu is black, white, and red, and Temur is blue, green, and red.
So Bernie with a cut to ribbons on the long tusk cub. You know, the old turn 2 cut that will eventually become a ribbons fireball.
Indeed. Another card I think that's going to be seeing increased play.
Yeah, it is so good.
And another card, importantly, that I'm playing in my Jund Energy list.
Yeah, you know. So Jake attuned with Aether, grabbed a forest, played his game trail, and showed that same forest. Good sequencing to hold up a removal spell, you know. Jake is one of the people that plays like pretty reasonable mechanics, you know. He does all the physical things right.
Yeah, you know, the thing is that Jake, off-stream, is just a pretty chill guy. But I tell you what, you put him on stream, actually you sit him down at a table to play Magic the Gathering, period, and it's like he has drank rocket fuel all day long.
Yeah, he has a game face.
Yeah.
Jake has a game face.
He sure does. And here comes our good friend.
Okay, so Bernie jammed a turn 4 Gideon. Jake has no board, and without a counterspell, I don't think he has a clear answer to this Gideon. But, well, the Glorybringer. Does he have the 5th mana for it?
I don't know, but I do know he has the Glorybringer.
So he has the, yeah.
Which is why Bernie plussed it.
Bernie plussed it. Look at him. Just like...
sniffing it out.
Just try me. Try me, Jake. Okay. So Harness Lightning on Scrap Heap Scrounger. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, he had the forest still that he had tuned for. And Jake's like, if you want to play around my Glorybringer, I'll just for you.
Yeah, and you don't have to exert it.
Oh, no, of course not. No,
right.
No, I didn't mean no. But there's a difference between foring Bernie and foring Gideon in terms of attacking him.
Oh, sure, yeah. And I think that's another Glorybringer in Jake's hand.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just get Gideon in one fell swoop.
Sure, but...
barring our removal spell.
Yeah, last game, double Glorybringer was not good enough.
Yeah, so...
did not beat double Gideon and single Avacyn.
Single Avacyn was the kicker there.
Yeah. Bernie still, decides to go with the Knight.
He's going to make a Knight.
Yep. Activates the Shambling Vent and gets in.
Activates the Shambling Vent, loses his energy to get the black mana.
Does not have the removal spell.
Not
Getting that one in, take down the Knight, exert one of them, kill Gideon. Yep. Yeah, there we go. That Knight's dead.
Okay, so... the old 2/4/4 dragons.
There's the Fumigate.
Oh, there's a Fumigate.
Yeah.
Well, don't even have to worry about how quickly you can race a dragon. Two.
So yeah, Bernie has gone with the Fumigate package. Jake, very likely out of gas at this point.
Yeah. I'm willing to be wrong, but I don't know how much you can have after you just jam 2 dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Refiner.
All right, well, that'll help.
Yeah, he replaces himself, you know.
Sure.
Okay. So we got a 2/2 and a 3/2.
Yeah, still very mediocre beats.
Yeah, and we can fire up for a 4/1.
Also, is that a Lumbering Falls or a Botanical Sanctum on Jake's
That's a Sanctum.
side? Okay. So yeah, just the 4/1.
I believe I saw a heart in there. In the scry.
Jake declaring his blindness despite wearing glasses.
Well, you know, some people just don't eat carrots. Some people refuse to eat carrots, and that's what they become. They wear glasses and they're still blind.
Well, yeah, all right. If you say so. You're the teacher, you know.
I don't know. Isn't that how biology works? Is that your body needs minerals and vitamins?
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, we're making reference to the Jake Valentine foodie tour. Which, not a lot of you people out there. Yeah, but there's Billy. Yeah, not a lot of you people out there, I'm sure, are friends with Mr. Valentine on Facebook, but there is a running joke with him and many of us here in the local northern Cincinnati Magic community. It's a good one. It's a good one. Jake enjoys buying mediocre fast food and posting pictures of it on Facebook as though he's accomplished something.
Yes,
he's making good decisions with his life, and so it's kind of become a running meme of sorts for lots of us to do those sorts of things.
Yeah, and
and hashtag Jake Valentine foodie tour on Facebook.
So check out the hashtag Jake Valentine foodie tour, FOODIE tour. You can blame me and Taylor Gunn for this. Sitting one night watching some UFC fights at a not exciting establishment of cuisine.
Yeah, probably ordered some deep fried things.
Yeah, I had some wings, and Taylor had some weird taco things, and we were just really regretting our life decisions when we thought how much Jake would love this awful food.
The most pedestrian of bar food.
Yeah.
Let's take a picture and put it on Facebook. Yeah, that's the foodie tour for you folks.
Yeah. So Bernie's jamming with a Gideon. Jake has a tireless tracker.
Once again, want to point out the mythic rare deficit here.
I don't even know if Jake has any mythic rares in his deck. I don't know what he was doing building them. He has so
What's
much.
He thinking?
He has so much store credit, and he just can't find. Don't tap that Heart of Kieran. Give it vigilance, brah. There we go. It's like Bernie heard me.
Drew a Glory Bringer. And that's going to be it, folks. Round 1 in the books. Mardu vehicles appearing to still be the boogeyman.
Yeah, so Jake opted not to draw it out. He saw the line a little quicker this time. You know, he might understand the matchup a little bit better.
Indeed.
Game 1.
So before we go away for this break, big news. Twitch has announced that affiliates, of which Top Deck Productions is, can now do subscriptions. So that's a really big deal for the stream. Super, super happy about that. If you feel so inclined, click on that subscribe button.
I believe there's a subscribe button on the Twitch. And
sign on up. I am in the process of trying to convince the gentleman who owns Top Deck Productions that subscriber emotes are the thing that will entice people to do that. So those should be coming at some point.
Yeah, and so just going to kind of ramble about this for a second. I want to say the subscription is $4.99 a month.
It varies. It varies. Yeah, $4.99, $9.99, or $24.99, depending.
Okay. But the basic point that we would like to make is that you can subscribe via your Amazon Prime account for free each month, and so the money that you give to us, we can use to improve stream quality, generate more content, and ultimately just kind of invest in the infrastructure.
Indeed. It's all going back. It's all going back into the stream.
Yeah.
For sure.
There will be no monocle cats based off of your... okay. But all
right. So that does it for round 1. Join us back here in just a little bit for some more hot, fresh, standard action.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.